Am I bugging? Or Inter have just signed someone, guys? Just need to clear my eyes, but it looks like we actually signed someone. We've got some transfer dopamine. We finally got some transfer news dopamine, and it was so quick. I literally made my Christian Asllani to Torino video literally what 2 hours ago, and a few minutes later, if only I waited a few more minutes to make that video, this news broke out about Inter signing. Well, we'll see if it's Asllani's replacement, but Asllani out. Andy Diouf from Lens in Ligue 1 is a deal. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano and many other sources in Italy as well. Fixed fee of 20 million euros. Total package could be 25 million euros with add-ons. So not a bad deal overall for a 22-year-old young Frenchman midfielder. And initial reaction, of course, allez les bleus, allez. It seems like it's a French summer for Inter. We're turning French. We're going to have to start speaking baguette croissant because now we have Benji Pavard, we signed Boni, Thuram. Now we got Diouf as well. I know Mkhitaryan speaks French. It's and the whole summer we've been linked with French players as well. So it was definitely one French player had to come up with it was Kone, Bade, Sole. Ended up being Diouf. It doesn't rhyme with the other ones, but it is here. And initial reactions, I need to watch tape. And yes, guys, I'm going to be working on a quick scout report. It's not going to be, I'm not going to take, usually I take a few days. I try to watch a few games. I'm going to try probably watch one game of his. I think the last game he played against Lyon. So I'll watch that and then I'll do a quick, try to get this scout report out quick. Because Inter have moved quick and it feels nice, right? It feels nice when Inter move quick, gets a deal done, no wasting time, no back and forth. Quick deal done and dusted. And for that, shouts out to Inter and you. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I mean, quick, just look at his stats without diving too deep. What type of player have Inter signed? So he's a center midfielder, can play multiple roles within the center midfield. Where he will play with Inter, we need to analyze that, try to find out and see obviously how Ausilio Marotta, what they saw in him and what Kivu green lighted his deal for. But quick things that he stands out for, of course, he is 1 meter 87, so he's tall, long legs, similar to Sucic, but even taller than Sucic, quicker than any of our other midfielders. And look at this, ranks first in accelerations as well as ball carrying frequency amongst all midfielders from top 7 leagues in Europe. Second in progressive carries, third in successful dribbles, third in offensive dual ones. Look at that. This chart from Data MB, accelerations per 90, progressive carries per 90. He is in a world of his own when it comes to that. So Inter clearly have signed a player that can take us from A to B, so from the edge of our box to their box in a very quick way. And that is a profile we've been saying Inter are missing. Someone with that type of athleticism, ball carrying ability, that adds something different to this Inter midfield, whether it's on the ball or off the ball. On the ball, definitely, we can see again here, lovely graphic here by Pranav M28 on Twitter, who shows the ball carrying template of Andy Diouf. Look at him, as I was saying, from the edge of their box to the edge of the opposition box. Look how many times he's carried the ball. He is really, really good at doing that. And the only other player that can do that, that does that Inter, it's not Barella. People think you should be Barella. It's not Frattesi. You should be Frattesi. What we signed Frattesi for was actually Mkhitaryan. So initially, looking at Diouf, looking at his kind of profile at the moment, this guy sounds to me, if we're going to continue with the 3-5-2, the Mkhitaryan replacement. Let's have a quick look at one video. Obviously, everyone's looking at the comps and the videos at the moment, but let me show you the best one that we've seen today. This was posted by the Ligue 1 official account. One, two, three players out of game. Fourth one tries to tackle him. Too much pace and power. And obviously, the finish isn't quite there, but he's just sprinted 60, 70 yards with the ball at his feet. And yes, he's only got, the last few years at Lens, he's only got 2 goals and 2 assists, which I've seen people flag up. course, I need to dive in. What was his role at Lens? Was he really expected to get into the box and get goals? But from what I understand, that wasn't really his role. So I wouldn't really look too much into that. If you look back to his time at Basel, when he first broke out as an exciting young talent a few years back, he had 10 GA for Basel, of course, for a lesser league, the Swiss league. We know that. But again, it shows that, he had a lot more assists and final product when it came to that period of his career. Ooh, I just dropped my phone. And yeah, all the other clips that you see around of him are show that, that pace, that power, the carrying ability that he has, which is definitely something Inter have missed. But is he the Asllani replacement? No, not really. It doesn't look like this guy is the one that you put in a single pivot, in a 3-5-2 to replace Hakan. This sounds to me as a alternative to the Mezzala roles, to Mkhitaryan, to Barella, to Sucic, to Zielinski. Or we'll have to see are Inter going to look to sign more midfielders? Well, I mean, at the moment we're kind of overcrowded in midfield. Kivu mentioned that at the beginning of the season or beginning of pre-season. Are Inter going to look for a more defensive profile to get an actual, vice Hakan? Because this guy doesn't look like the vice Hakan to me. So we'll have to see how what the decision making and the thought process is behind that. So you guys let me know what you would do. My thought is, yeah, this guy, as I said, looks more like a Mezzala. Or are we still continuing with the potential of the 3-4-2-1 formation? So this guy can definitely play in as a double pivot. In his last game at Lyon, he played in a 3-4-2-1. Lens were playing a 3-4-2-1, and he played as one of the double pivots. So he's the one that, he can do that role up and down, doing a bit of both, defending, attacking. But then if Inter we're still missing the players to play that formation, because then we still need to sign. Is the Lookman thing still alive? Is there any hope of that? Or a Lookman type of player still out there? But the reports were saying that Inter's focus now, before the end of the window, is getting one midfielder and one defender. So we've got the one midfielder. So is the next signing going to be a one defender? So the rumors were right. And the rumors were saying also that it's going to be someone from a foreign league, so it wasn't going to be from Serie A, and a name that was not linked to Inter yet. So those reports were correct. Inter have made quite a surprise signing out of the blue with very little negotiation time, or there might have been a long negotiation, but they've made it sure that it didn't leak out this time. They kept it under wraps, they kept it low key, and pulled off this very, very interesting move. And, as we said, some people, with the Luis Enrique thing, some people say 23 million is too much. Yeah, I was saying, maybe 15, 20. But these days, any decent player, it's about 20, 25 million. That's the main minimum price now. If you get less than someone for 20 million, that's usually a really good deal. Like Fiorentina just bought Piccoli, the striker from Cagliari, for 25 million plus bonuses for Piccoli. Like, it's crazy, the prices. This is transfer market at the moment. And of course, we don't need to talk about the prices in the Premier League. So in Ligue 1, Bundesliga, well, even the Bundesliga is starting to get quite pricey now, because all the Premier League teams come to Bundesliga and they raise the price up. But Ligue 1, you can still get good value. Portuguese league, because they set those crazy release clauses, they do, usually get good value there. But Ligue 1 is still a good league to get good value in. Belgian league, Dutch league, these are the leagues that Italian teams and now Inter probably need to start picking out from, rather than buying. If you want to buy established player from Serie A, you've seen it. Teams are going to overcharge you, or just refuse to sell to you, like Atalanta. So I like the sound of this. We've got finally some transfer endorphins. Initial comparisons, some Interisti have thrown out the comparison to Geoffrey Kondogbia, which is not a bad thing in itself, because Kondogbia was a good player before Inter signed him from Monaco. He was a flop at Inter, but then had a decent career afterwards as well at Marseille, Atletico Madrid, etc. But long, tall, long legs, very heavily relying on dribbling past players, but not, it's not very technical dribble. It's more like a pace and power, just like get out of the way type of dribbling. So I can see the comparisons there a little bit, to Kondogbia, but it looks like an interesting profile. I've had some Milanisti comment under my tweet that he looks like Loftus-Cheek, and actually, if you do a quick data MB chart of Diouf and Loftus-Cheek, it's almost identical, very, very similar profiles. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually do like Loftus-Cheek. I've mentioned in the past that Inter should try to sign new players off the mold or profile. Again, the importance is the profile of a Loftus-Cheek, which means that athleticism, ball carrying ability, and technical level. Loftus-Cheek's first season at Milan was actually good. So this guy, you can see, needs to add more final product to his play, more forward passing, progressive passing, winning more duels. But he stands out definitely in the carrying side of things. But yeah, we'll see as things go on. Hopefully, he passes his medical and all that. You can never also, with Inter, you always gotta hope and pray that everything goes smoothly in the deal. We've seen things fall through at the last second as well. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Inter finally signed someone. What do you make of Andy Diouf? Are you going to start speaking French now? And are you for it? Are you against it? And yeah, keep a lookout on the channel for a proper scout report. I'm going to dive deep and watch some games of this guy and see what's what. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter, or should I say, Allez l'Inter.